Who is the Nightwatcher? Well, we won't find out until Free Comic Book Day, but until then I'm gonna make the first ever Nightwatcher action figure. He's going to be more of a statue because this figure is a knockoff NECA figure. He's an unarmored last Ronin, but he's like an inch and a half shorter, and he's got like no joints except his wrists and his neck. So my first step after I took him apart in boiled water to soften him up, I have Apoxie Sculpt, which I'm using to sculpt his sleeves and hold those joints because they moved, but then they just go right back to the same place. They're really like cheap, weird, old toy style joints, but it's a true knockoff. But then I fill in over his toes because he's going to be wearing boots, and the back of his legs there, because that's going to be pants, but on the front he's got armor. So I'm going to make the armor after. First I sand down a little bit of this Epoxy Sculpt after it dried for about 20 hours. They say it takes 24 hours, but 20 is alright. Now I have Spackling, and it's used to, like if you have a small pinhole on your wall or in your drywall, but I use it because it only takes like 15-20 minutes to dry, and you can just easily fill in any cracks that you have or gaps that you want to fill and sand it really quick. And speed is important to me when I'm doing everything because I don't have enough time to do anything. That's the original Nightwatcher, because traditionally the Nightwatcher was Raph in the 2007 series, and I think he wore the costume once in the 2012 series. I could be wrong, or maybe he just wore it for a second and it was more of an Easter egg than a plot point. I don't really remember, or it could just be because both movies were CG, so they look similar in my memory, maybe. I have a titanium white because I want a really bright white for his eyes, and so I fill in those eyes. And the eyes he had, one was in the eye spot and the other was under the eye on the bandana. It was just a paint defect, but I paid like 20 bucks for 4 figures like that. Not all the same character, different characters. I have some craft foam, and it's already in shapes. I got it at the dollar store a long time ago, but it's good because it's hard to make a little circle like that. Now I'm covering a lot of, well, his top half with black and just filling in because he's going to be wearing, I have some synthetic leather, but some parts are still going to show through, and the Nightwatcher is wearing mostly black. That's the 2007 Nightwatcher, and there's only been the one image of the new Nightwatcher from IDW Comics, which the original run is coming to an end, but the last Ronin stuff is still going on, and they have new stuff like this Nightwatcher is going to be a 2-issue arc. So I don't know what he's connected to. Maybe Raph is the last of the IDW turtles instead of like the last Ronin. This be something like that. Or maybe Raph is the one that died, and then Leo or Donnie put on the Nightwatcher costume because the brothers split up and went their separate ways, and that's how they honor Raph. Maybe Leo goes out and fights crime as the Nightwatcher and then reminisces and misses Raph because he is the one who died. Because in the last Ronin, 3 of them died, or maybe it's in the last Ronin storyline and one of them survived and secretly survived and comes back as the Nightwatcher. I don't know. We don't know what. I guess they're going to start a new line, but then there's the young new turtles in the last Ronin continuity, so he could just be a totally new character that we've never seen before, or it could be one of those turtles is dressing up as the Nightwatcher because they heard legends and they want to fight crime on their own. I don't know. It's all speculation, but let me know what you think. Could have been one of those. Or at IDW, hire me, I'll write the news stories. Yeah, that would be cool. If you're watching, please give me a job. I'm poor. I can't. Anyway, I was just painting. I went with a pen to carve into 2mm foam, and then I went with white, and then I went with red, and it was already black, so I dry brushed some silver around the edges. Now I'm doing his belt. That's going to go across his chest, and then getting, I used a dark brown and a black, but they're so close you can't really tell. The belt was dark brown so that you could see it a little more over the black, but I cut just goes over one shoulder and then another one to go around the side. But when I cut them out, because I was tracing onto the back of the leather, or synthetic leather, I didn't flip the template, so I had to cut it smaller. It didn't come out as I wanted. Now this is 1mm foam, because he's got some armor. It's black, it's all in shadow, because again, that's the only picture we have so far of this character. So then the parts I did with the dark brown, they could just be black, and that's the light reflecting that gives them kind of a brownish tint. But I went with the dark brown because otherwise he'd just be all black, and I'm doing a lot of black on black. You can't even see what I'm doing half the time because it just looks like I'm moving my hands in a black hole. Yeah. I'm gluing down the 2 pieces I cut for the helmet, so one goes over the top and then one around the sides, because that was the easiest way I could think. And then he's got kind of ears that I'm going to put on with more foam, but first I'm filling the cracks with spackling, again because it's easy, fast and easy to sand, and it's great for filling little cracks like that. He's got lights, but I don't know if they're lights on the new helmet or if it's just fake ears, because maybe that armor is just fur. That's what I first thought, it looked like fur, but then I was like, no, it's probably some scale armor you see there. So I did it in like layered pieces of leather is what I interpreted it. It's what I thought it was at first. But I forgot to draw the design on the front of the mask there. It would have been easier if I did it when it was flat, but I got at it with the same process I used before, and now I'm sanding the spackling on the helmet. And I wasn't planning to fill in the gaps on the helmet. I was hoping I could just get nice seams. So I wasn't planning to paint any of the armor black, but I think it's gonna look better. I think it looked better. I think it looks better because I'm already done now. I'm just explaining and showing, but it pops out more. So I went in all the dark spots of the armor, and yeah, the helmet, cover the white spots. Who else could it be? Because I don't know what time, if we knew what timeline it was taking place in, or it could be its own timeline. I'm talking about this new comic that we're going to get on Free Comic Book Day. I think it's April. Yeah, it makes sense that it's April, but that was, Raph was in the 2012, and in the, or not 2012, 2007, I'm pretty sure he had like extendos as his weapon. So those are sandwich sticks. So they're pointy on one end and like square on the other, and I painted those black to be like extendos, and I'm covering everything with a matte acrylic varnish to seal everything up and blend everything together. And I made a base for him because his joints don't really move. So, but then I thought these were too long, so I cut them down a bit and painted the tips. And did the same silver dry brushing on those, and then I add some more silver dry brushing because I painted over most of the silver that I put on there before. And to get him to go into the base that I made just out of some styrofoam packaging, the styrofoam I cut out, I made a cooler diorama out of a styrofoam cooler like 2 weeks ago. I missed a week because I had a lot of stuff to do, and I didn't really take any days off. I took 1 day off, but that was, I had an optometrist appointment and they put some drops in my eyes, so I was blurry for like 4 or 5 hours. I couldn't do much. I used a lighter to like warm up the neck spot a little bit, but I ended up melting it, but that worked because then I made it taller so the head fits a little higher, because the head fit like really low and I wanted it higher anyway, so it worked out for some reason. Like, luckily, happy accidents. This is what it looks like. Next week is gonna be a pizza monster, so until then, remember, always keep your head up. Peace.